The U.S. Senate welcomed back Jon Kyl this week, who now holds the seat vacated by the late John McCain. Kyl took his oath of office a day after his appointment by Governor Doug Ducey. He retired from the Senate in 2012 after serving 3 terms. This time around, Kyl says he will stay through January 3rd when the current congressional session ends. Until then, Republicans will likely count on him for votes on key issues. Here now with analysis is Luigi Del Puerto, editor of the Arizona Capitol Times in Phoenix. Luigi, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Let's begin with the significance of the presidential endorsement, if you will, just moments after Governor Ducey's announcement that Jon Kyl would be taking over the seat of John McCain. That means something, doesn't it?
It does. It means that the Tea Party wing of the Republican Party supports Jon Kyl as John McCain's successor. In fact, we have seen conservative stalwarts immediately applaud the governor's choice of Jon Kyl as McCain's successor. So yes.
This is somewhat strategic given that we have a Supreme Court pick who will likely get passed through sometime in the coming days. This ensures then that the Republican Party remains strong in the Senate.
It does. We know that Jon Kyl, before his appointment, was shepherding the appointment of Kavanaugh to become Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. So we know he is a yes vote. And that would calm the White House. But in addition, really, in Arizona, there are very few people who can get into this role right away and do the job that is expected of this position. And quite frankly, Jon Kyl is at the very top of that list.
It seems the national eyes are really centered on Arizona right now as so much is taking place as we look toward the November election. Right now, though, NAFTA negotiations also taking place with both presidents, including the incoming from Mexico, really watching that process to see how this relationship develops. Jon Kyl has expertise in this region as well.
Yes, he does. And quite frankly, that's probably one of the reasons why the governor picked him. He wanted somebody who knows the issues very well, specifically the issues that plague Arizona. And one of them, of course, is what happens to NAFTA and the broader conversation about immigration. We know we benefit from NAFTA. We know that if that agreement goes away, it's going to hurt our economy. And having Jon Kyl, somebody with that kind of stature and, quite frankly, respect from both sides of the aisle, gives Arizona a very important voice as we are heading toward what looks like sort of the final agreement here with Mexico and Canada.
In some political circles, Luigi, it sounds like there's some concern over Jon Kyl's time in the Senate. He has already said, I will only stay until January. That also puts pressure on Governor Ducey to keep a close eye on that seat as we move forward.
It does. And my reading of this is they obviously put a pretty good thought into how to create this succession or how to make the succession happen. And they clearly mapped out what they were going to do. They knew that Jon Kyl was only going to stay through December or through January. And that at one point, after that, the governor would have to appoint somebody else. So right now, it's very clear that Jon Kyl is a caretaker figure, a placeholder, somebody who would get the job done, get in, get out, get the job done. And the job right now is the confirmation of Kavanaugh to the U.S. Supreme Court. So that's the number 1 job. And then what happens next is the governor will have the opportunity to pick somebody who can actually run for election and potentially win that seat and keep it in Republican hands. And my reading is this is exactly why they wanted this succession to go this way.
Okay, and the Democrats, of course, keeping a close eye on this as well. Luigi Del Puerto, editor of the Arizona Capitol Times, joining us via Skype from Phoenix. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.